Good morning, Greenwich. This is Mrs. Sorbera and Bronx with your morning announcements. Today is Wednesday, April 1st, 2020. Celebrating a birthday today is Ezio in first grade, Aubrey in second grade, Jacob in third grade, and Stephen and Silas in fifth grade. Happy birthday, everyone! This month's new character trait is resilience. Resilience is the grit to keep on trying when things become difficult. A resilient person can recognize and manage their own feelings and understand the feelings of others. Today is National Walking Day. What a great chance to get outside and explore. When you come back inside, could you draw a picture to show what you saw when you were outside? Could you write a few sentences in your journal explaining what you saw or what you did? It's a great chance to get some fresh air and have fun.
Hi, good morning, boys and girls. This is Mr. Andrew. I'm here at my parents' dairy farm. I'm gonna give you a little tour of the place and talk to you a little bit about cows and farming. Hopefully you enjoy. Hopefully everyone's doing great this morning. And a big shout out to Mrs. English for doing all these morning announcements every day for us. So let's get started. Okay, so welcome back. Our first stop is gonna be explaining to you what the cows actually eat and some of the tools that help us feed the cows. So I'm going to be moving around a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see me okay, and we'll give it a shot. So the first thing I want to talk about is one machine that helps us throughout the day. It's actually a robot. So my parents 2 years ago built a brand new barn, which you can kind of see behind me, and it's state-of-the-art, brand new, equipped with 2 robots that actually milk the cows. So I'm gonna show you those robots later. Give you a chance to see how it works and how it milks the cows all by itself. But this first robot is called Juno. We like to call it Oscar because some of the kids are a little bit afraid of it, the little babies. But Oscar throughout the day actually moves and goes down through in front of the cows and pushes the feed closer to them. So as the cows eat, the silage and hay and feed gets kind of pushed away from them where they can't reach it. So to save us time, Oscar here spins and rotates at its bottom and actually goes down through and uses a little camera right here, which so it knows where it is, and it pushes the feed back in closer to the cows so they can keep eating it. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what cows eat. So each day the cows get a fresh batch of silage, which is chopped up corn, haylage, which is chopped up hay, and grain. So we mix that all together. I'm going to move the camera just a little bit here so you can see another piece of equipment. So behind me is this huge wagon. It's called a mixer wagon, and we put all the feed in there and it mixes it all up for the cows. And we actually do this twice a day, in the morning and at night, so the cows have plenty to eat. All right. There's some of the cows behind me. I'm going to bring you a little bit closer so you can see what some of the food looks like. So there's a mixture of hay and corn and grain. All right. Next stop, I'm going to show you a new baby calf that was born last night, and then take you to the robots. And maybe say hi. Okay, so welcome back. Here's a mommy cow and her newborn calf that was just born early last night. And there's a little kitty in the background. Those are the kids' favorites, the cats. They come here often to play with them. Here's kind of another view of the barn. Anybody know the name of that brown cow there? If you said Jersey, you're correct. And how about the black and white ones? Does anybody know what they're called? Yes, they're called a Holstein. Nice job if you got those. So you can kind of see the stalls where the cows lay down, and you can see these two big fans. So in our barn, the big thing is all about keeping the cows comfortable. So in the summertime when it gets hot, these fans, which there's a lot of them down through the barn, actually cool the barn down. And we kind of keep the barn at a constant temperature for the cows. They don't like to be too hot because they're kind of like dogs. They don't sweat. They don't have very many sweat glands. So you'll often see when cows are really hot, they'll pant and breathe heavy. So they don't like to be hot. So in the summertime, it's really important that we keep the barn as cool as possible so the cows stay comfortable. Because the more comfortable they are, the more milk they'll make. So here's just a few cows relaxing. They've already had their breakfast this morning. You can see that they're laying in what we call their beds, which is actually made of sand, like almost beach sand. It's super soft, it's super comfortable for the cows. And what's nice about it is we can easily rake it around and smooth it up after they're done laying in it. Each week we bring in a fresh load of sand to replace what gets kicked out and scraped away for these guys. So they have fresh beds on a weekly basis, which they love. Maybe I can get it. Oh, she's moving. So if you noticed, all the cows have tags. The tags tell us who they are. So and their collars are really important when we get into talking about how the cow gets milked and how the robots know which cow is which. So you can see that cow's name is Ricky and her father's name is Shout. And her birthday is November 1st, 2013. Okay, so we're gonna go in the robot room now, and it's really important that we stay quiet so that the cows aren't too disturbed and they feel comfortable enough to come into the robot. And hopefully if we get lucky, we'll catch a cow just coming in, and we can show you the whole process of what the robot does and how it works and how it milks the cow. And then we can even show you where the milk ends up. Okay, so you just saw the cow come in. It's a little bit noisy, but now you're gonna see the robot kind of working a little bit. It goes underneath the cow. And what it's actually doing is it's cleaning her. So there's some scrub brushes on it. You can just see them by the cow's leg a little bit. I'm gonna maybe move the camera here in a second, but now you can see them. And they're cleaning the cow off. Because sometimes the cow lays in some dirt, maybe some mud, and we want to clean that off before the cow gets milked. So the cows actually come in all by themselves, and the reason why they come in is because they love to get milked. Some of our cows come in and actually milk themselves 8 to 12 times a day throughout the day, and they also get grain when they come in. So that's an incentive for them as well. So you can see the robot still kind of cleaning the cow, getting it ready. The cow's starting to nibble on the grain. So I'm gonna move it here so you can see you can see the lasers a little bit. Hopefully that worked. Hopefully you were able to see the machine attach itself to the cow's teats on her udders. So what's really cool is those lasers Actually, it's called mapping, and they map the cow every time it comes in, so they know exactly where to place the teacups. And the collars that I talked about are really important because when the cow comes into the stall, the robot computer actually scans the collar so it knows exactly which cow it is. And the computer is so smart that it remembers the last 10 times the cow has been through the robot, and it remembers its last 10 mappings of its udder, so that it gets really good at putting the teacups on the cow the first try. So we have about 110 cows, and like I said, a lot of our cows come into the robots 8 to 12 times a day, and most of the cows give almost 90 pounds of milk a day. So I'm going to go show you where the milk goes, and maybe some of you guys that are super smart out there, if we have 110 cows milking and they're giving 90 pounds a day, how much milk do we produce in a day? All right. Okay, so here's what the computer screen looks like as the cow milks, and it gives us a lot of information. You can see over on the left side, it says the cow's name is Tabby, her number's 7, and over on the right side with the blue lines, you can see that she's given almost up to 30 pounds of milk so far, and then each one of these are the quarters of her udder. So this is her left front quarter, her right front, her left rear, and her right rear. Cows don't always give the same amount of milk out of each quarter. It's usually close, and you can see hers are pretty close. So she's now up to 34, almost 34 pounds of milk. So this is where we could go on the computer and basically get all the information we need about Tabby here. Pretty cool. Most cows take about 5 to 7 minutes to milk, depending on when their last visit was. Sometimes it's quicker if hasn't been too long since the last time they visited. I'm going to show you one more view of the actual robot milking the cow too. There's a good view of and each one of these teacups, once the quarter is empty, it'll automatically release from the cow, which is super important that it doesn't stay on there when there's no more milk. Okay, so this room is actually the milk house. So this is where all the milk goes, and it's stored in this giant tank, which is called a bulk tank. And it's one of my favorite things to always show people when they come to the farm is they love to look down in the tank to see all the milk. So here's what the milk looks like inside the tank, and you can see those bubbly looking things that are floating on top. That's all the cream from the milk. So if you've never had farm fresh milk, I tell people it's like taking heavy cream and dump it into your milk. It still tastes the same, it's just kind of a thicker texture. So our milk gets shipped out to Cabot cheese, and actually Hood products. So the next time you pick up some Cabot products or Hood products, who knows? Maybe some of that came from our farm. And our milk truck comes every other day and picks up our milk, empties the big tank, so we have room to keep filling it. So here's just a quick shot of the whole barn itself. You can see the other robot station, and some of the cows are waiting to go in and get milked. And since it's kind of late morning, some of the cows are still eating, but a lot of them are now laying down for a few hours to rest for the day. So you can see all those fans that I was talking about to keep the barn cool. And another helpful tool is you can just see it there in the middle of the screen. Some of those cows are underneath something that's moving. It's actually a giant brush, and it scratches the cows. So as soon as the cows are up against it, it starts turning, and it scratches them. So not only are they have comfortable beds and a nice comfortable temperature barn, but they've got a free back scratch anytime they want it. And we've got Serena here coming to say hi. Hi, Serena. And one other cool feature, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, is right here on the outside of the barn is actually curtains. And these curtains automatically close and open based on the temperature of the barn, so that we can keep the temperature roughly, we try to keep it anywhere from 55 to 65 degrees if possible throughout the whole year. So in the wintertime, they tend to be closed, and in the summertime, they'll open right up to let the air flow through a little bit. All right. The last thing I'm going to take you to is to show you some more little calfies. Okay, so last stop here this morning, hopefully you guys are still watching, but you're doing great, is a visit with some of the other calves on our farm. So they stay outside in these hutches, and I know you're probably thinking a snowy morning like this, they're so chilly, but they have a nice warm fur coat on them, and they also we put a little extra blanket on them just to keep them a little warmer on these chilly days like this morning when it's snowing. Say hi. So at any given time, we have like 10 or 12 calves out here. Once they get a little bit bigger, they'll go to another barn on the farm. And as they continue to get bigger, eventually they'll wind up back here in the big barn, ready to milk and live there for a while. Okay, so boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed the visit today on the farm. And thanks for tuning into the announcements. And thanks to Mrs. English and everyone else who's helping make the announcements possible for you guys. Hopefully we'll see you all soon. Enjoy the snow and have fun. Stay safe.
Remember, boys and girls, to be kind to yourself and to others. Be responsible and be the best you can be. The choice is yours. Have a great day, Greenwich.